winds here kick those flames across the street on 17th Avenue and onto the Blue Stem portion of Buffalo River State Park. Some of these emergency vehicles have been here on 14th Street for 9 hours. This building is where crews found that fire and body earlier this afternoon. You can see that heavy police presence behind me still right now. Police issued a warning to residents in the area to stay in their homes and go to their basement. You can see in the distance that grain elevator. That's nearby the intersection where the train and truck collided. In the last half an hour, vapors from that propane tanker ignited. Crews actually shut this down around 12:30 this morning. Kirsten, this is normally a parking lot on the corner of Broadway and Main, but as you can see, skaters out here are enjoying some ice time. And I do want to show off our cookies that we made. This is our WDAY First News crew. Those coffee habits can really add up, especially if you prefer to buy your coffee instead of drinking weak break room coffee like this. Much of the production of these chips will stay in Perham. That way, Shears will already have a prepackaged workforce already in the bag. Ashley Hunter is being held in the Cass County Jail for the death of Clarence Flowers here at this North Fargo apartment. Hunter's also accused of killing Samuel Trout at this house a few blocks away. Mail delivery issues in this Fargo neighborhood are opening the door to a national conversation. Close to 100 emergency responders and volunteers lined the perimeter of this cornfield and walked down these rows for close to 4 hours looking for little DJ.
Not afraid of anything. He's unstoppable.
Unstoppable 18-month-old DJ Napton is as happy and energetic as ever, but his mother is still catching her breath after an afternoon of panic.
Like the scariest moment of my whole life.
Around 11:30 Thursday morning, DJ wandered away from his older sisters in a cornfield near the family's property. Lacey Napton got the phone call at work and rushed home to look for her youngest, fearing the worst.
Was on my knees in that cornfield begging God, please don't take my baby.
Word of the search soon spread around sleepy Ellendale. Even Lacey's boss at the local grocery store let most of the staff leave their shifts to help.
In a small community like this, it's whispered twice and they're there.
The emergency management director called in 10 different agencies in what became an air and ground search. Cornstalks tower well above the toddler's head, so drones from a South Dakota Sheriff's Office and private pilots offered their services, while dozens of do-gooders walked through more than 160 acres.
People I see in town and don't even know out there. And it's just amazing.
And it was one of those volunteers headed to the search party who found little DJ dangerously close to a creek and reunited him with his family.
When we actually found him, it was kind of, it was just unbelievable. I halfway expected us to be out there into the night.
It's the kind of folklore you see in grainy photos and hear in campfire stories.
It's a Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Gigantopithecus, whatever you want to call him.
But what about rural North Dakota?
He's a real animal. He's here. I want people to know.
Christopher Bauer is an experienced trapper near Ellendale.
Picked up the trail down that way.
But a Christmas Day track is more extraordinary than the outdoorsman has ever seen.
And then crossed the highway here, and then made his way to the hills out there, I think.
Bauer started on the trail after a family friend spotted something alarming through her kitchen window.
She described him as a large, hairy, ugly monster. And I guess that kind of describes if a Sasquatch is looking through the window at you.
That monster left miles of tracks, 18 by 8-inch footprints like this.
He has a 4-foot stride, and when he hits, he makes a very deep, large impression.
Bauer says he tracked hundreds of footprints for more than 7 miles here. That's when he says Bigfoot disappeared into the hills. 2 places where he kicked up the snow and reached down and picked up either a mouse or a vole or something like that. Bauer knows many people won't believe what he found, but he says the tracks are too perfect to be a hoax. He hopes someone will get video evidence of the mysterious creature, but he also hopes to find that proof without any harm coming to Bigfoot.
The truth is out there. It's there. I know he is. I tracked him.
Reporting in Dickey County, Catherine Ross, WDAY 6 News.
Football is family, basically, especially for Carter. He just made everyone family.
Tonight, the Ada Borup family is warming up without one of their own. And before they make their last regular season throws, catches, and plays, they're first remembering a teammate who played a key position on and off the field.
Oh, he was a great teammate. Got the team going when we were down, and just made football fun.
Carter Peterson is once again keeping his teammates going even though they're down. Number 63 was killed Sunday in a car accident. 3 days later, the school is filled with banners, memories, and friends supporting the Peterson family. And the 16-year-old's second family is demonstrating the teamwork it knows best.
It's been an emotional week for the community, the school. I just feel for the parents and the family especially, but these kids are, they just want to do something to help out.
T-shirt sales and tailgating donations go to the Petersons. Players, fans, and the field all wearing number 63. And even the rival team is feeling the heartache.
Football is family, and if one team loses a son or a daughter, whoever's playing on it, then we all lose a brother.
Those brothers visiting from Cass Lake pay tribute with a drum circle. The team presents a gift of wild rice, a Native American symbol of hope. And each player embraces the family and the opposing team. And the home team shares its grief with Carter's family, presenting his jersey and helmet and dedicating the game ball to number 63. To kick off, 8 of the 9 starters take the field, leaving Carter's spot vacant for the first plays. The rough and tumble varsity team showing just as much heart as brawn.
It's not about winning or losing, it's about just sticking together.
Yes. You're just full of yourself now, aren't you?
Cyclone is among the horses in the eye of a brewing storm.
It's a long-running story of neglect, or maybe of just not knowing any better. I can't even understand.
The Foal, along with Gypsy and Dusty, are now staying at a stable in Moorhead. Their South Dakota owners were boarding them at Hightail Horse Ranch. Over the course of a year and a half, this former rescue volunteer says the horse's health took a drastic turn.
Chronic pneumonia, chronic dehydration, and massive parasite infestation.
But the ranch's owner and former Hightail Rescue Director Charlotte Toohey says the issues are being exaggerated.
None of the horses that left here were dehydrated. They were parasites, well, what and how many? They were wormed in November.
Erickson says vet bills for the 3 animals, since they were returned to their owners, exceed $5,000. Owners sued Toohey in March for refusing to release the horses and for what they say were unauthorized charges. Toohey says the owners fell out of contact with her and they owe the ranch close to $10,000.
Everything the vets lined up for us to do, we did, and they're refusing to pay for it.
The court ordered the owners to pay $3,000 and Toohey to return the horses. Hightail Ranch and Rescue has come under fire for neglect of other horses in the past year. One even died shortly after leaving the rescue's care.
They were really that sick. I'm not making it up.
The rescue's management blames the bad publicity for driving away funding and volunteers.
There's so much misinformation, and I think our directors are tired of fighting that.
But the group alleging neglect says it only has the horse's health in mind.
She started something amazing and something beautiful, and she saved a bunch of horses. Something happened. Something went wrong in the last couple of years.
Vera Wixow grew up in a modest Larimore household. Her father, Robert Harvey Scott, was a heavy drinker, often out of work.
I was scared of him, and so I consequently pretty much behaved myself.
But when Vera was a teenager, she began learning about a different side of her father.
For me, his alcoholism was much more a part of my life than that he had committed a crime.
Encounters with her father's estranged family slowly revealed Bob Scott was actually Emmett Cole, a fugitive from Washington State.
No one ever knew anything, really.
After her father's death, Vera ventured west to do more digging.
His arrest.
She found newspaper clippings and court documents from 1927 describing Emmett Cole's assault and rape convictions. Convictions the Cole family staunchly rejected.
Through the years, they said he was innocent.
During the months he was incarcerated, Cole refused to talk and eat and even attempted suicide. And before the case was scheduled for a retrial, the 27-year-old escaped.
Cut the bars, and the prisoners, they feel like, probably helped him too by singing that day. And he slithered out the bars. And this is the brother they think helped him escape.
Cole adopted a new identity, working odd jobs around the country for 10 years until meeting his wife and settling in Larimore, North Dakota as Bob Scott. Just a year after his escape, Cole's family falsely identified a body as the wanted convict, effectively closing the case.
He did not know he'd been declared dead, so he always thought they were looking for him, I'm sure.
Although Vera Cannell fills some of the gaps to her family's past, she still wishes she would have asked for the full story, straight from her father.
I didn't dare. I don't know why I didn't. You know, you look back and those are regrets.
Catherine Ross, WDAY 6 News. The move to kill a bill that would have outlawed discrimination based on sexual orientation is really grinding some gears at the Red Raven Espresso Parlor.
It's silly to deny anybody in our community the ability to, to be themselves and to have access to all the rights that I, as a white heterosexual man, have access to.
That's why a day after the measure to ban discrimination failed, the Red Raven is brewing up a ban of its own. Effective immediately, if you're among those who voted against Senate Bill 2279, you'll be shut out completely from the coffee shop.
And we're only basing that on their age, their gender, their race, their beliefs, the color of their skin, their religion, and disability.
But no voters can get special privileges.
They're welcome to come in if they're accompanied by a lesbian, a gay, a bisexual, a transgender, a queer, an intersex person, or an asexual person.
Sound a little absurd? That's what many here think about the thought process of these lawmakers.
We're just highlighting the shamefulness of those who voted against it.
Word of the coffee shop's ban has been spreading, and even leaders from a state labor and industrial organization are stopping by for their coffee breaks.
We support all working people in North Dakota, and this business obviously supports all people. So we want to patronize businesses that support people.
And while the Red Ravens workers don't want to discriminate, they're trying to give lawmakers a taste of their own exclusion.
Still, in this time period, we're still denying rights to everybody.
I did talk with the bill's primary sponsor, Josh Boucher, today. He plans to reintroduce similar legislation next session.